Hello everybody, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Will back again with Real Talk. I wasn't gonna chime in on this, but again, this is Real Talk, so let's go right to it. First thing, we've all seen the videos and the deals about the incident that took place in Miami at the mall. One of the things I want to say is common sense has left us. It's not common anymore. It should be called uncommon sense. The mass police presence. I want you to think about something. And this is, again, this is just me. This is Real Talk. So let's talk real about this. With the influx of mass shootings that we've had in this country for the past decade or so, in a place like a shopping mall, if it was misunderstood or fireworks were mistaken as shots fired or active shooter situation, of course there's going to be a large police presence. Why wouldn't there be? It's a very large area. Aliens? When a person is experiencing a traumatic situation, fear, a lot of things happens to minds and imaginations. Now, I'm not here to say that true or false, whatever the case may be. I'm just simply saying employ common sense. By looking at the massive amounts of views and likes and comments on these posts about aliens and 8-foot tall beings moving in, crazy directions and what have you and whatnot, I guess I'm asking too much for everybody to employ common sense again, because common sense is not common. I'm not going to beat too much up on the issue. I, for one, just employ common sense. And with that being said, ever since I was knee-high to a grasshopper, I was always taught to believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. With the influx of modern technology, things could be doctored, photoshopped, touched up, airbrushed, you name it, it could be done. Common sense. Common sense. It's time we all got back to it. Again, with this technology, it forces you to vacate common sense. Unfortunately, common sense can't be taught. There's no institute for common sense. There's no degree in common sense. But again, today's society, common sense is not common. So enough about that. New year. First day of the new year, 2024. Earthquakes, tsunamis, tornadoes. The beginning of 2024 has been, eventful for sure in a lot of instances. We need to understand, or even try to understand, what's happening. 2024, January 1st. Why January 1st? Everything seems to have happened all at once. It's shocking, to say the least, but it's something we need to pay attention to. It's something we need to really open our eyes. What's really going on? Common sense would tell me that somebody in a higher power is trying to send a message. And it's up to us if we receive that message or if we ignore that message. The beginning of 2024 so far has been hell on a lot of people. Unfortunately, there has been some people who have been, I think the phrase they're using today is unalived, behind some disasters, nature. Wake up, open your eyes, pay attention to what's happening around you, and ask yourself what's going on. Fear is something that takes hold of everybody. And when fear takes hold, your imagination runs wild. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand something. And understand this clearly. A made-up story, a lie, a fictitious event can travel around the world in 20 minutes. But the truth will take 20 years. Let me say that again. A lie will travel around the world in 20 minutes, but the truth will take 20 years. With that being said, common sense should come at play. Now, I'm not sitting here and I'm not going to call anybody a liar. That's just not me. Common sense will say that, okay, something big happened, and which required a bigger response. And that's all I'm going to say. Weather patterns are weather patterns. Global warming, global cooling, I mean, come on. We've all heard the old saying that history will always repeat itself. So these are patterns that we're seeing in Mother Nature. We've seen them before. And if we're lucky enough to live long enough, we'll see them again. It's nothing new. Melting icebergs and moving glaciers, and this is what carved our world's valleys and rivers before. It'll do it again. Erupting volcanoes, well, that's what shaped several islands, and it will do it again. It's not a phenomenon, it's just Mother Nature. It's just the way the world is. So moving forward, tsunamis, not an uncommon event. It's only become more in front of us is because we've placed more people's lives in the path of these waves and surges. As the Earth's population grows, we put houses where there weren't houses before. So it's man, I hate to keep beating on this word, but it's common sense that if we place individuals in the path where there was none before, destruction is going to happen. Unfortunately, the loss of lives is going to happen. It's an unfortunate event, and I pray for those who are in the path. I don't wish any harm to come to any individual on the face of this planet. I just understand that Mother Nature does what Mother Nature does, and unfortunately we're placed in its path. Okay, so let's go on. Let's move forward. Like I said, I don't want to keep on one particular topic. It's late in the evening here. I am in my office getting ready to start my day at 11 p.m. But I felt the need to create this real quick because I seen massive feedback on this issue, especially the deal in Miami. A bunch of teenagers, fireworks, massive police response, and then the rumors, the outpour of rumors of mystic beings, aliens, portals being opened, and someone is, transported through this portal and creating chaos and causing mass fear. Sounds like a movie, doesn't it? Or a Stephen King novel. I'm not saying it's true, I'm not saying it's false, I'm just saying common sense should come to play. Ladies and gentlemen, we're already in 2024. That's just the first, 5 days of 2024? And if the first 5 days are any indication, we're in for a rough ride. We're in for a rough ride. But I'm going to ask each and every one of you to try your best. Before you post, before you react, employ common sense. You should, in fact, employ common sense in everyday life. It might make it a little easier for you. Again, I'm going to reiterate this, that what I said earlier. Believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. I don't trust the mainstream media. I haven't trusted the mainstream media for a long time. Everything gets twisted or swayed, depending on which side of the aisle you sit on. Left, right. It's bias at its best. So therefore, I believe none of what I hear. None. Absolutely zero. And only half of what I see. So, let's not feed into this mass chaos and mass speculation. What I'd like to see is mass common sense being used. And we will see how the rest of this plays out. So, to those in Miami, and around the world. I understand the fear that you've encountered or you drum up because of, oh my God, aliens, oh my God. Remember, or some of you may not even remember, you're too young to remember, but years ago, there was a radio program, and this was before television. And I remember, well, I wasn't even around then, but I remember the stories of the radio program had stated the Martians have landed. And half the people lost their minds, went crazy over a radio program. Some of y'all remember the Y2K scare? 1999, the world was going to come to a screeching halt because we're going from 1999 to the year 2000. People went crazy. Went to home improvement stores and wiped out the generator supply because they thought the power grid was going to shut down. And what happened? What happened? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. On the backside of that, you had everyone going back to the home improvement stores to return these doomsday items that they bought on a whim because they did not employ their common sense. They went with mass fear instead of using common sense. Ladies and gentlemen, come on. Come on. Do not let modern day technology be the dumbing of this planet. Stop using these devices as your lifeline, your source of true information, if you will. Because the majority of the stuff you see on these devices are not true. They're made up. They're photoshopped. They're doctored. They're airbrushed. It's common sense, folks. Straight up common sense. Listen. This is 2024. For the majority of us, 2023 was not a good year. It's bad. And for the most of us, for the majority of us, the beginning of 2024 is not looking that hot either. We all got to grab ourselves by the bootstraps and get ready for a rough ride, because it's going to be a rough ride. But we can minimize it by using common sense. We can minimize it by less belief in what we see on social media, what we see in the mainstream media. We all are blessed with the ability to think for ourselves and realize that if something doesn't make sense, then the probability is not true. And there's a lot of stuff on this social media that makes no damn sense at all. At all. So, With that, ladies and gentlemen, I've said my piece. I have shared the real talk. And I beg you to allow common sense to prevail. It's your boy Will with Real Talk. Peace and good love, and Happy New Year, everyone.